A gaming PC or a PS5? Tough choice, right? Which is the best? Well, we're gonna find that out in this video. Hey guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be very interesting and also super fun because we will be comparing Sony's brand new PlayStation 5, which is a gaming console, versus a gaming PC from the PC Master Race, and we'll decide like which is the best for the price that you're paying. So thing is, I actually got like a lot of comments from you people in my Sony PS5 unboxing video like, hey Vimal, like we have a budget of around like 50,000 rupees, so should we buy the Sony's PS5 gaming console or should we invest the same thing to build a gaming PC? Like, which is the best option for us? Can you please help and guide us? Well, do not worry, folks. I am here to help you out. What I've done is I've broke down the video into different categories where we'll be comparing different aspects and between the gaming console and gaming PC, and I'll help you decide like which is best for your requirement and the budget you have. So let's get started. So I'll be sharing my complete honest opinions on both these products, and we'll also be talking about the pros and cons about the devices and what they're offering for the price that you're paying. So keeping that aside, let's first start off with the specs of these devices, guys. First with the Sony PS5. See, Sony's PlayStation 5 is completely powered by AMD. It's got a custom Zen 2 based architecture CPU, which is an 8-core 16 thread and can be overclocked up to 3.5 GHz. And if you talk about the GPU, here also we are using AMD's Radeon RDNA 2 based GPU, which also supports ray tracing as well. And if you talk about the RAM, there's like 16 gigs of RAM on board and comes with a lightning fast PCI Gen 4 SSD, and that to up to 825 gigs of capacity. So those were the main specs of PlayStation 5. Now if you talk about the PC, well, here you've got like unlimited customizations and options available, but I don't want to do that. PlayStation 5 is only 49,000 rupees, right? So I'll be comparing it against a 50,000 rupees gaming PC only. Only that way it will be like fair and correct proper way, right? So that is what I'll be doing. So I'll be using my recent 50k gaming PC build to compare against it. You remember, right? I recently posted the video like 5 or 6 days ago. I'll be using that only. Here I'm using Intel's 10th gen i3 CPU. That is what you'll get for the price. It's a 4-core 8-thread CPU with a max turbo boost of up to 4.3 GHz. Now coming to the GPU, here we are using only 1660 Super with 6 gigs of VRAM. That is the highest you can actually get for this 50k price budget. And RAM, here also we are using 16 gigs of RAM, so equal RAM we are having on both the sides. And coming to the storage, I'm using like a regular M.2 SSD, guys. So it's not that fast as PCI Gen 4 available on the PS5. So those were the main spec differences between both these devices. And if you ask about a comparison here, well, on paper, PlayStation 5 definitely offers you better specs because like seriously, it's got an 8-core AMD CPU versus a 4-core Intel CPU on your PC. And also the GPU is quite powerful on the PS5, which is capable of even offering you ray tracing graphics. Like seriously, for 50,000 rupees, you cannot do 4K ray tracing gaming on the PC side, guys. So I'm really sad to say this. At least on paper, PS5 wins. But don't yet decide the outcome because we still have a lot of other factors and elements to consider before deciding the outcome. So keeping that aside now let me tell you about the ease of use first. So that is our first point. See, ease of use. Gaming consoles are like super easy to use. There is nothing involved over here. You just have to buy the console, unbox it, connect it to your TV, and boom, that's it. You're good to go with the gaming. But that is not that easy on PC because see, if you want to have a 50k gaming PC, first you'll have to select the components, then you'll have to build the PC, which can be like quite complicated for beginners. Otherwise, you'll have to go for pre-built gaming PCs. And even after building PC, you're not like ready for gaming out of the box. You'll have to install Windows operating system, and after that, download respective game clients like maybe Steam, Epic Game Stores, Rockstar Games, and then you'll be able to play games on this PC. So if you ask about ease of use, I'll definitely give a point to the PlayStation 5. Now comes the second point, portability and customizations. If you talk about portability, well, I don't think both of them are that portable. Even though PlayStation 5 might be a bit compact, you can carry it anywhere, but without a TV, it's damn useless, right? So I don't think it's that portable. Same is the case with the PC also. Even if you can carry your PC, you would still require a monitor or a TV. So portability in this category, I would give it same points. Now coming to customizations, well, PlayStation 5 has no customization options. Like you can't upgrade anything apart from the storage on it, right? And also you don't have any sort of design elements to choose from. You're just fixed with one particular design what Sony is offering. So yeah, very minimal. There is nothing to customize on PS5. But coming to a gaming PC, every element on a gaming PC is customizable, right from the size, the shape, and the components. Like if you want a small PC, you can choose a small cabinet, go for a mini ITX model. If you want a big PC with grand RGB lighting, go for a big cabinet. And the biggest thing that you guys are forgetting is RGB lighting. Well, for some people, RGB lighting is everything, guys. Like seriously, it can make your PC look much more better. And that is not available on PS5, right? There's no RGB lighting on it. It just has like simple subtle blue lighting that changes depending on the status of the PlayStation 5. And that's it. There is nothing over here. You can't control anything. Over here, just look at this PC. You've got this beautiful RGB lighting that gives like great looks to your PC. So that is definitely one plus point to the PC. Now let's talk about the third point, performance and gaming experience. First, let's talk about the PlayStation 5. PS5 packs some really powerful hardware powered by AMD, which lets you do like 4K 60 FPS gaming, and some game titles, select game titles even let you do 4K 120 FPS gaming, and 8K gaming is also possible. Like what more can you ask for that 50,000 rupees budget? I would agree that not all the games support 120 FPS, and also there are some certain limitations as well. For example, if you want to enable ray tracing graphics, then definitely the frame rate it will come down from 60 FPS to 30 FPS. You'll be limited to like 4K 30 only, but still you do have that option, right? Like you can play games with ray tracing enabled at 4K, which is pretty awesome. Again, if you don't want ray tracing, you can definitely toggle high FPS mode to go back up to like 4K 60 FPS. So you've got like a couple of options and performance modes available on the PlayStation 5. Now don't expect that you'll be getting same sort of results on the PC side. Seriously, it's not possible. You cannot do 4K gaming with the ray tracing for 50,000 rupees budget. The 1660 Super is not capable of handling that. For this you will need at least like a 2080 or 2080 Super, and when you introduce that GPU, the PC price can go really high, maybe double or even triple compared to a 50,000 rupees PlayStation 5. So boys, I'm like really sorry. PlayStation 5 definitely gets a point in this category. Don't worry, I'll definitely show you a dedicated gameplay video as well, comparing both how they perform at a later part in the video. Now let's talk about my gaming experience. On the PS5, you get a DualSense controller using which you can play all your games. And let me tell you, DualSense is an absolutely awesome controller, especially the haptics on it, the touchpad, everything give you a great feel while you're playing it. But again, not everybody likes to play using joysticks, right? And that is where PC gets a special point over here, because on PC, you can not only use a joystick, but you can even use your favorite keyboards and mice to play your games, especially while playing esport games like maybe Fortnite, PUBG, these sort of stuff, right? Competitive players usually prefer using keyboard and mouse only. So here you can use these options also. So that is one point for the PC. I totally forgot to mention one more thing. In the performance section, guys, whenever you're playing games on a PlayStation 5, the frame rate on it is limited and locked. For example, if you're playing in like ray tracing mode, frame rate will be locked to 30 FPS in 4K. Otherwise, if you go for smooth FPS, then it will be locked to 60 FPS and that's it. But coming to the PC side, your frame rate is unlocked here. So that means you can do very high FPS gaming. You can even go like 144 Hz, 240 Hz, how much ever the hardware is capable of. So that is one thing PC gets a point for. And let me tell you, once you start playing games in high FPS, like maybe 144 Hz or 240 Hz, there is no going back. You just can't accept 60 FPS gaming. So that is definitely one thing I'd like to mention. Now let's talk about the games. One thing I'm a sucker for is those exclusive game titles available only on the Sony's PlayStation 5. Sony has some exclusive games, guys, like maybe God of War or Spider-Man or Days Gone, Last of Us. These sort of special games are not available to the regular PC users. So that is a bit bummer, because if you want to play these games, you'll have to go for the console side only with the PS5. Coming to PC, well, here also you have a bit of exclusive games like maybe massively multiplayer online games like World of Warcraft or these sort of stuff, but apart from that you don't have any exclusive AAA title games. So yeah, here PS5 will get a point. Now let's talk about usability. Like what else can you do with these devices for the price that you're spending? Like see, anybody whenever they're investing some money in a product, they would like to use the max out of it, right? So if you talk about PlayStation 5, it's a gaming console and you can just play games on it. Apart from that, the only other thing you can do is use it as a media entertainment hub. It's got a 4K Blu-ray drive on it, right? So you can maybe play some movies, stream Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube through internet, and that's it, guys. This is what you can do with the PS5. But coming to the PC side, PC is much more capable than just simple gaming. You can use it for streaming. Streaming can be a great career for gamers also. And keeping that aside, you can use it for productivity kind of works. For example, if you want to earn money or you want to have a some sort of life in career, like you can use it for video editing, photography sort of stuff, animation, 3D rendering, and whole lot of applications are there over here. These sort of stuff you can't do on a gaming console, right? So PC has like much more advantages and can actually become like a source of income for you in future. So that is one great advantage I would like to mention. And how did I forget about emulators? You can install a variety of emulators on your PC, like maybe for Android or previous gen consoles, and get the best out of it. Now that is not possible on the PS5. Alright, one more important factor to consider is flexibility and upgradability. If you talk about the PS5, well, seriously, there is nothing you can upgrade on PS5 apart from the storage. You can't upgrade the CPU, you can't change the GPU, you can't change the RAM, you can't even change the look of that thing. Only thing you can change is the storage. That too, currently PS5, you can't upgrade the storage because it's locked from internal. You'll have to wait for an update or a patch that will let you enable upgrade the SSD on it in future. You'll have to wait for that. Now, if you come to the PC side, each and every item is upgradable on it. For example, if you want to change the look of the cabinet, look of your PC, you can do that. You can change the motherboard, you can change the CPU, you can upgrade the GPU. Suppose right now you're on a tight budget, then maybe you can settle for a GTX GPU. In future, if you have the budget, you can buy a RTX GPU and upgrade that with your existing CPU. Whole lot of flexibility and upgradability options are available on the PC. So this definitely gets a point. Alright people, we are almost coming to an end. So let me tell you about the maintenance and we'll also discuss about the price factor. If you talk about the maintenance, well, there is very minimum maintenance on gaming consoles like PS5. The only thing you'll have to take care is about, dust cleaning on it. That too once in a while. There is nothing you need to worry about on gaming consoles. But coming to PC, well, here also you definitely need to keep cleaning the dust on it because, the radiators or fans on it can get blocked with the dust and can reduce your performance over time. So make sure you're cleaning all those vents, fans to keep your PC performing the best always. And not only that, one more thing you'll have to keep constantly checking is you'll have to go through Windows updates, driver updates. For example, if there's a new game available in the market, then you'll definitely have to update the NVIDIA drivers, right? Without which the game won't work properly. And then you'll have to keep changing the BIOS, and these sort of stuff will come under maintenance only. So there's a bit of more maintenance involved when you buy a PC. We're almost coming to an end, right? So let's also discuss about the price factor. Sony's PS5, the standard edition costs around like 49,990 rupees in India. And if you ask about the digital edition without the 4K Blu-ray drive, that will cost you only around like 39,000 rupees. And for that price, Sony is offering you like 4K 60 FPS gaming, and 4K 120 FPS is also available, and 8K also coming very soon. And also you have like exclusive game titles available over here and these sort of stuff. Now, if you look at the PC, for 50,000 rupees, you're getting 1080p high, very high FPS gaming, that too with maximum graphics available. And that's it, guys. Don't expect you can do 4K gaming. 1440p gaming can be done up to an extent on certain game titles, but 4K is not possible for 50,000 rupees. If you want to do 4K gaming with ray tracing and high FPS, these sort of options, then the price will definitely go up, maybe doubled or even tripled depending on the GPU prices. Right now, GPU crisis is going on. There is a shortage of GPUs everywhere and prices are like insanely high. So that is pretty much it, guys. That was our in-depth comparison between a PS5, which is a gaming console, and a 50,000 rupees gaming PC that you'll be getting for the same exact price. I think we've covered almost every aspect, and I hope this video really helped you like to decide which one you should go for. See, if you would ask me, see, it all depends on the individual or a person and their requirements. For example, if you're just a casual gamer, you come home from office and you want to do simple gaming sitting in front of your TV like this, then for you maybe you can go for a console because that is very easy to use. Just power it on and you're good to go. But again, if you're a type of user who looks more, for example, if you're investing 50,000 rupees and you want more out of it and not just gaming, then maybe you can go for PC because you've got like options for streaming, you can do productive works like Photoshop, video editing, and you can even try emulators out on it as well, right? So you've got like more flexible options over here. And also keep in mind about future upgradability as well. See, that's why it all depends on the user and their requirement actually. And both of them have their own pros and cons. So that is pretty much it, guys. So let me know whether you would buy a PS5 or would you go for PC. If you would ask me, I'm a greedy person, so I bought both the PC and PS5 at my home. So that's it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video and found it useful. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more new awesome videos. And I'll see you all in my next one.